Mr. Phoenix Wright, if this witness is the killer, then his eyewitness account is all lies, right?
Mr. Wright, I'd like you to clear something up for me. When the crime was committed, exactly where was Mr. Dingley?
Well, based on my crazy theory that I just came up with, let's see how correct I am. He was in his room. He was obviously here the entire time.
That's Acro's room.
Pretty simple, eh? Acro wasn't able to leave the lodging house by himself. There's only one answer to that. Acro didn't leave his room to kill the ringmaster. What? Are you nuts?
What you say, Mr. Dingley? What say you, Mr. Dingling?
What say you? He's not gonna say shit.
It's an interesting theory.
That's it?
Considering that what you proposed is impossible, yes, that's it.
Oh, buddy boy, you don't even know what I've just... My fucking theory is gonna get proved right. I feel it already.
Mr. Wright?
Yes, Your Honor?
As the witness has stated, your assertion is impossible. As he is in a wheelchair, there is no way he could go to the scene or be the killer.
You've got a point. It seems you've forgotten once again, Mr. Phoenix Wright. The defendant was clearly spotted at the scene of the crime. That's true. Mo said that he saw Max, didn't he? Or, oh. Okay. I take back the monkey theory, by the way. I have a better idea. He tied a rope or something around the bust? I don't know, he used something. And then he just put the cloak and the hat on the bust. Well, I mean, the bust already has the hat. But I don't know, does the bust have the cloak? Either way, he just hoisted the bust onto his head and then hauled it back up. That's why it looked like he was flying. You don't really need the monkey in that scenario, so I still wish it was the monkey. Anyway, but Maya, it's still impossible for humans to fly.
Do you mind if I ask a question, Mr. Wright?
What is it?
I understand some of your logic. However, how do you think that I killed him? If I can't leave my room, I obviously couldn't wear Max's costume.
Huh. How did he do it? That's the next course of his legal buffet. Be careful, Nick. If you mess up here... She's right. I can't mess up here. I've got to give this some serious thought. I'm sure that Acro killed the ringmaster, and he killed the ringmaster while he was in his room. No doubt about it.
Time to enlighten us as to how Mr. Dingling committed the crime, Mr. Wright.
I'm going with the bust, dude. If it's not the bust, it's the bust or go home. It's the bust or bust. I'm going to present some evidence.
So what did Mr. Lingling ding bing bing use to kill Mr. Barry?
I'm going with the motherfucking bust. If it's either that or nothing.
Ah ha ha!
I'm so smart.
What's that, a picture?
It is indeed. The problem is with the item that's shown in the picture, Your Honor.
The bust?
It's quite a large bust, and because it is life-size, it is also very, very heavy. Heavy? Heavy enough to guarantee a certain death, especially if it was dropped from a third-story window. Aw, yeah. Ah. Oh, he's looking serious now. Look at that look. See? This is how Acro was able to kill the ringmaster, with the force of gravity and Maximum Galactica's ample bust. His ample breasticle bust statue.
Order, order. So you're saying the bust fell onto the ringmaster.
A rather simple crime. Even if you were stuck in a wheelchair, it would be incredibly easy to commit. How could you possibly wheel a wheelchair with something so heavy? It's impossible! Oh yeah, let's watch him do it right now. Well, Acro is an acrobat. He should have more than enough upper body strength to carry something like the bust. Yeah, suck a fat cock, bitch.
Mr. Dingling, how do you respond to these charges?
Well... Acro's at a loss for words. He should be. He knows that I'm getting close to the truth. That's right, bitch. Well, Acro, you can't run away from things this time. Oh, shit. I'd watch what I say if I were you, Mr. Phoenix Wright. What? Your Honor, the physical health of the witness is material to this case. I demand that we get proper testimony from the witness himself.
Testimony, you say?
On karma. She's just using this testimony as a ruse to stall for time. Yeah, don't let her do it. There's absolutely no need for such testimony. The defense has its version of the murder. The prosecution has the right to respond.
The defense's objection is overruled.
Why can't he see things my way once in a while?
Mr. Dingling, I'm sorry, but we need you to testify about your physical condition. If you have any doubts about your ability to testify, we can request expert testimony.
The witness will have no problems. However, let's all be respectful towards him.
Thank you.
Ugh, that woman will sink to any low to win a case. This bitch. It's alright though, we've gotten to the next state of the goddamn testimony, which is bad. That took fucking forever on the first half, my god. Or first step. There might be more. This all might only be number 2. We might be in for the long haul with this motherfucker.
I suppose I have lifted something the size of that bust.
Or I could have, sorry.
I have a strong upper body from working out as an acrobat, and only my legs were injured. However, lifting the bust and looking out of the window would have been impossible. There's no way I could have exerted that kind of force on my lower body. That makes it impossible for me to have known the location of the ringmaster's head. Thus, it would be unrealistic for me to drop the bust on him, don't you think?
Huh. You think your bullshit story is gonna fly with me, bro? I don't think so.
I have no doubts in regards to this witness's testimony.
It was impossible for him to lift the bust and carry it over to the window. Not to mention that he could not have known the location of the ringmaster's head. Oh, that's why the box was there. Because he knew the ringmaster would be like, oh, why is this box here? And he knew exactly how he wanted to set this up. God, it's genius! A single false step would have led to even more severe injuries.
That's what I was thinking. What is your opinion on the matter, Mr. Wright?
I'd still like to proceed with my cross-examination, Your Honor. He's simply stalling. It's shameful, really. You did it first, bitch. Can't let her get to me. Gotta focus. She started this shit. I'm gonna finish it. Bitch, you don't even know. I'm gonna crack your egg right now. And I know we're already fucked up on our damn life bar. I'm just gonna roll with it. We've been in worse situations, so let's roll with it. Here we go. I suppose I could have lifted some side of this bus. All right, let's press it. Have you ever lifted up the bus before?
No, I've never actually lifted it up with my own 2 hands. But I should get to it, don't you think? I can't let money outdo me on this.
Money? That crazy monkey has lifted Max's bus before? Yeah, see, the monkey helped him. I knew the monkey helped him. I just wasn't sure how much.
Please continue with your testimony, Mr. Dingling.
Fucking monkey. He let it slip that the monkey can lift the bust. Definitely. So, what have you been doing to keep in shape?
Well, honestly, I've given up on training. I don't have any plans to return to the trapeze or the tightrope.
You don't say.
But, no offense, I'm not worried about losing to you in a race or anything.
Ouch. Fuck you too, buddy.
Neither am I, Mr. Phoenix Wright. I wouldn't lose either, Slowpoke. I mean, Nick.
Whoa, whoa, whoa. How did the discussion turn to me all of a sudden? We're gonna fucking bicker about how slow Phoenix is at sprinting around here? This ain't the time or the place, bitches.
I suppose you could say that I'm stronger than the average bear.
Alright, Yogi. Fuck you too. Keep pressing this bitch. And why is that?
Because if I were to do that, I'd end up falling out the window myself. I still haven't gotten much feeling back in my legs yet. So you couldn't have thrown that bust out the window.
Okay. There's no way I could have exerted that kind of force in my lower body. Okay. How long do you think your recovery will take?
You have to remember that the nerves were severed. I'm currently undergoing some extremely intensive rehabilitation. But it's still going to take a while before I'm back to 100%.
Let me remind you of another very important point. If the witness was carrying the bust, he would not be able to see out below the window.
That makes it impossible for me to have known the location.
So nothing that they've said is easy to contradict here. There's gotta be something, though. Why do you say it would be impossible?
Allow me to explain. You accept that if I was carrying the bust, I couldn't see out below the window. Thus, there is no way that I would know the location of the ringmaster's head.
Well, I suppose you've got a point.
Hey, Nick.
Huh?
What if you turn things around? Maybe if you think of it sort of like this. If he knew the location of the ringmaster's head, then he could drop the bust.
That's what I was saying. If the box where the box is located, if he knew the ringmaster would be standing in front of that box, or at least over that box or whatever, it does make sense. If only I could prove somehow that Acro knew the location of the ringmaster's head without looking down. Hell yeah, you can. The fucking trunk, bro.
I think I've already explained things sufficiently.
Alright, we'll have to present evidence on that one, but let's go ahead and press the last one just to make sure. If all you had to do was drop it, then it wouldn't have been a problem at all.
If all I had to do was drop it, you're right, I could have done that. However, there is no way that I could score a direct hit on the ringmaster's head.
So that kind of makes your theory of it pointless, doesn't it, Mr. Wright?
Acro is strong enough to lift up the bust. The main problem is how he could have aimed for the ringmaster's head. I wonder if he used some kind of tool to aim for the ringmaster. That's the ticket, Nick. Show them what you've got. I have to be careful. I have to find something that fits perfectly with the case. I don't remember us finding any sort of tool. But maybe we overlooked something. Oh, I didn't overlook it. It's the box, I'm pretty sure. Yeah. This is the one I'll probably have to present it on. Is the box... yeah, the box is definitely locked. Victim was hunched over the box. It's either that or the crime scene photo. No, the crime scene photo just proves that he was hunched over the box. I'm going to just present the box and see if that's what it does. Let me save it. Now that I've pressed everything and I haven't lost any points or anything, let's save it one more time. And then let's go for it. I'm going with the box. I'm pretty sure it's the box. That the location of the box is basically like X marks the spot, drop it here. Yes! The music stopped. Perfect. Acro, you didn't really need to lean out of the window, did you?
What are you diving at, or driving at, Mr. Wright?
You already knew ahead of time where the ringmaster's head was going to be. Quite precisely, I may add.
Objection!
Your silly hinting at things is pointless, Mr. Phoenix Wright. Enough stalling. How about you show us some evidence?
But I did such a good job hinting.
Yes, yes, yes. Hurry up and explain things, Mr. Wright.
Maybe you should take a look at this, biatch. I might have been able to present the photo as well, but the box is the main point. The key point here is the wooden box.
The same wooden box that the victim was found hunched over.
The same. The question is, who placed the wooden box here?
Who?
Who indeed? When Ben and company saw the ringmaster, they didn't see him holding the box. Okay. Which means that this wooden box was already placed at the scene of the crime. Booyah!
I have to admit that your theory makes a lot of sense.
The moment that the bust came falling down was exactly the same moment that the ringmaster lifted up this wooden box. Which means that the answer to all these questions is now crystal clear. Booyah, sucker!
You mean...
If the bust were to fall upon the point marked out by the wooden box,
there would be no way that it could miss the head of the victim, son! Yeah, that's right.
Really?
No shit, duh. It's like X marks the spot, bitch. You damn right.
Order, order, order! This is unbelievable.
Or is it? Finally, some of these loose ends are starting to tie themselves up. Now I just gotta keep going, and there's only one way to go from here. Forward march!
So the next question I have is, who placed that wooden box at the scene?
It was Mr. Dingling, of course. He connected it to a rope, and then all he had to do was lower it down. Oh, shit.
Allow me to whip some sense into you. Mr. Phoenix Wright.
Aye, 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 aye!
The ringmaster's head could have been anywhere when he lifted the box.
That's why the box was so specially made.
Specially made?
Indeed. It had the most peculiar feature. The weight? It has a weight and it had contents. I'm gonna go with the contents, because the contents was just a fucking pepper shaker. The weight of it shouldn't matter. Do you recall what was inside the box?
There was only a small bottle of pepper, wasn't there?
Get on with it.
Well, oh god, I'm wrong.
What's the matter? Cat got your tongue?
I don't see any relationship between the location of his head and the box's contents.
I think I might have outthought myself.
No, Nick, you didn't think enough.
Mr. Wright, do you still maintain the box had some sort of special feature?
Indeed. It had the most peculiar... I guess it's the weight, then. Has to be the weight. The box has a remarkable weight. Weight?
According to the court record, it weighs 20 pounds.
Just to lift up this wooden box would have been required.
Oh, I see. One would have to squat down, then lift it up with their body, wouldn't you say?
Oh, I see. If the ringmaster was going to lift it, then his head would be right in the center. I see. That's exactly what I was trying to point out. The box is so very large.
The box also has carrying handles on either side, doesn't it?
That is correct. To lift up the box, you'd have to squat down. Which means that no matter who you are, your head would be in approximately the same place. Aw, shit. Fool! Who's the fool now, bitch? He's still not fazed by any of this shit. For real, though. What an asshole. Does he even bother to listen to me anymore?
I've heard what you've had to say.
Okay.
I must admit, I'm shocked at your imaginative skills.
Did you drop it? Did you drop the bust onto Mr. Ringmaster?
What are you talking about? Even if I had wanted to do such a thing, I couldn't.
What?
Mr. Wright, do you recall the original location of this bust?
Yeah, I was in the lunchroom. Of course I remember. It was on top of the table in the cafeteria, bro.
Then what happened to it?
I'd like you to remember one important fact, Mr. Wright. I could not possibly leave the lodging house by myself.
Ah, that means...
You understand what I mean, don't you?
So the monkey brought him the bust, either way.
I may have been able to drop the bust from my room. However, how could I have gotten the bust from the cafeteria to my room?
You let it slip earlier, bitch. You said the monkey can lift the bust. You see, Mr. Phoenix Wright, explain that. Don't forget, you said there was no accomplice. What, does the monkey count? Tell us exactly how the witness would have carried the bust from the cafeteria. Yeah, we definitely have a problem here. But this is no place to get perplexed. I've got to get my wits about me and prove how things happened once and for all.
All right, Mr. Phoenix Wright, let's hear your explanation.
Can I save it first? Thank you. Alright, let's hear the explanation then.
How did the witness get the bust from the cafeteria back to his...
What is it? The room? His room? I'm going with monkey. The monkey is the answer. Yes!
A monkey?
Everyone knows Money. He loves shiny objects of any size.
For instance, he stole the ventriloquist ring.
So, are you saying the witness had a monkey steal the bust? Of course he didn't order the monkey to steal it. The monkey stole it on his own, and then brought it back home. Wrecked.
Home?
Money lives in Acro's room.
Acro's room?
Oh, yeah. But the bust was bronze, wasn't it? Bronze isn't all that shiny. Shiny enough, bitch. Maybe you should put the whip down sometimes and read the court record. Bitch!
My, those are some very nice cards he's holding.
Yes, and they are made of platinum, which is very shiny, bitch. Qua! Acro! Money is a strong monkey, right? It'd be easy for him to bring the bust back to your room.
If he wasn't able to handle it himself, I'd be on the market for a new roommate.
Yeah, so you admit it, bitch.
Order, order. I said order, Ms. Von Karma. Where is the bust in question at this moment?
I don't know. We're searching for it as we speak.
That is a strange turn of events. If that monkey did not steal the bust, then what happens to this case?
Well, in that event, something else must have been used as the murder weapon. Well, huh? Or maybe this bust was the murder weapon, but it was used by accident. That's possible. Maybe Acro saw Money's mountain of stolen goods and thought to use one of them. Yeah, like he didn't plan to use the bust. It just happened that was the heaviest thing he had in his room. That's pretty much what I was assuming. I wasn't assuming that he fucking brought the bust up there himself. How the fuck would you get it up there? That wasn't... come on, seriously? I think we've more than proven one critical fact. Namely, that it was entirely possible that Acro was the murderer. Yeah, you damn right.
Moron!
Moron who's correct. Call this a correct moron, bitch.
Mr. Wright's argument was so circular I'm still a bit dizzy. However, his argument does hold water. There's no denying that.
That's right, bitch.
Don't seem so flamboozled, especially by this fraud of an attorney.
Fraud? Bitch, I beat your dad, I beat your mentor, I beat your boyfriend, shut your back goddamn mouth, bitch!
You've forgotten the absolute most important thing, Mr. Phoenix Wright.
And what is that?
You should know. You forgot that your fraud of magical client was spotted at the scene of the crime.
Ah!
There is no reason to doubt the clown's testimony.
That's true. How do you respond to that, Mr. Wright?
Nick, don't let her beat you now.
I won't. This is my chance to turn this trial around.
When the murder occurred, there were two people at the scene of the crime. One was the victim, Russell Berry, and the other was the murderer himself. Answer this question and only this, Mr. Phoenix Wright.
Alright, I'm gonna save it again. I'm saving it right now because she's about to give me a question, and it might be a doozy. It might be a doozy.
The clown saw the murderer. Who was it then?
It was the bust. He saw the bust. He saw Max's
I asked who was the other person Mo saw on the scene. That evidence has nothing to do with the question.
Au contraire, mon frere, it does indeed have something to do with the question. Because there was no other footprints, who else was standing there? Mo said that he saw Max's silhouette. Yeah, that's right, bitch. But he did not actually see the man himself. It wasn't a human being he saw. That's what I was thinking the whole time. I don't know if that was supposed to be a complicated one to figure out, but that's how I looked at it. I figured that out quite easily because Mo never actually said he saw Max. He just saw him. I forgot the silhouette was the word he used, but that is definitely what he said.
How is that possible?
It's simple, really. What Mo actually saw that night was Max's bust. Get right, bitch.
What are you talking about? Have you tried using your brain at all?
Have you? You're just trying to fucking prove me wrong, and you're just wrong the whole time.
The silhouette he saw just happened to be wearing a cloak.
There's no reason why you couldn't attach a cloak to the bust, bitch. Or a cloak that could easily get snagged on the bust if they came into contact. Yeah, bitch.
Idiot! Who in their right mind would put a cloak on a bust?
It doesn't matter who put it on the bust. The fuck question logic of why somebody would do it. Who cares? He did it. Ask him.
Just wait a minute, Mr. Wright. Who put the cloak on the bust? That question is the utmost importance in this case. Don't you agree?
He caught me. So let's have it, Mr. Wright. He's gonna ask me who put the fucking cloak on the bust? Seriously? It's Acro or nobody at all.
Who put the cloak on the bust?
It's Acro. I mean, who the fuck else would put a cloak on there? Unless Max did it. But let's see.
I wonder, Mr. Phoenix Wright. Didn't the defendant wear this cloak the entire time he was at practice? So then how did this person get a hold of the cloak?
Well...
Furthermore, how would this person have gotten the cloak onto the bust, I wonder? Because this person was not spotted at the scene.
I'm sorry. Shit. So it's Max then. I mean, it makes sense that Max would put a cloak on his own bust because he's a retarded, vain bastard, but let's go ahead and say that Max did it and see if it gives me a game over, then so fucking be it. I just saved it anyways. No, not Max. Alright, give me the game over. Give me my game over, I deserve it. So, okay. If Max didn't put the cloak on and Acro didn't put the cloak on, who the fuck would have had the cloak? Unless Russell Berry put it on there. Would Russell have put it on there? I'm really trying to think. Would Russell put it on there? Would Regina put it on there? Would Mo put it on there? Ben? Would Ben put it on there? Who the fuck would have put the cloak on the goddamn bust? Did we hear somebody tell us that? and I forgot? I don't remember somebody telling us that. Hold on, let me look at this again. Taken from the cafeteria before the crime. Who would have put a cloak on it? Who would have put a cloak on it? Who would have put a cloak on it? If you like it, then you should have put a cloak on it. If you like it, then you should have put a cloak on it. If you like it, then you should have put a cloak on it. And you can suck on a cloak because the cloak is on it. Alright, I'm gonna go with fucking guessing approach. How about that? We're gonna go with the guess and check approach. So my first guess is that Russell did. Fool him?
You are saying it was the victim himself, Russell Berry?
That's what I'm saying, bitch. The victim himself placed the cloak on the bust? Placed the cloak isn't really the right way of putting it.
Then what would be the right way of putting it, Mr. Wright?
Explain yourself. Nick, do you really have a handle on all of this? I'm fine, Maya. I'm finally putting all the pieces together. There's really only one picture I can paint anyways. Alright, so you want to know what really happened that night? Let's step back in time. Alright, time to step through it as I see it, baby. Here we go. Acro used a rope to lower the wooden box onto the scene. Then he attached that rope to the bust, and dangled the bust out of his bedroom window directly above the wooden box. At the same time, the ringmaster told Max to wait in his room and went to the scene. Of course, at the time, the ringmaster was wearing Max's costume, for whatever fucking reason. Perhaps he didn't want anyone to recognize him that night. But just as he feared, he was spotted at the entrance of the lodging house by none other than a ventriloquist and his puppet, Ben and Trilo. When the ringmaster arrived at the scene, he bent over to lift the wooden box. And that's when Acro took his chance and released the rope. Okay. Now this is when the magic happens. At the very instant that the bust hit the victim, wow. Wow. That's gonna be our theory? Wow. Just wow. You wait just a second there, Mr. Phoenix Wright. As much as you try, as much as you scheme, this isn't true. It can't be. It's still a little early to be getting so upset, Ms. Von Karma. This circus isn't over yet. Eh? With the shock of impact, it threw up the cloak and it got snagged onto the bust. That's when the sound was heard by a witness and he took a look out of the window. That witness was, of course, Lawrence Mo Curls, the clown. When Mo looked out his window, the cloak had already snagged onto the bust. Now, having completed the crime, Acro naturally went about pulling up the murder weapon. Of course, he had no idea that Mo saw the bust being raised with the cloak dangling on it, primarily because in his wheelchair he couldn't see out of his window. Oh, so he just kept pulling the bust up. Sounds like a good plan to me. Or a good explanation. I just don't. I don't like that the cloak came off and hooked to the thing, but I guess it's possible. And that is how the magical murderer disappearing into the sky came to be. Fuck you, yeah. Fuck that. Now you know how the murder actually took place, bitches. Give me monies. And now you know who was able to drop the murder weapon from above the scene. Acro, it could only have been you, bitch! Come on, react once, please. Just a little bit? Just a little bit? Acro's been playing mind games with all of us. He sure has. But he has come to the end of his rope now. So, what now? You've graced us with a rather long-winded tale. But do you have any evidence to prove that your fairy tale is true?
Evidence?
In this court, only two things matter. The power of evidence and the power of my whip. Okay, bitch. Fucking S&M bitch over here.
Don't forget the power of my gavel as well. Mr. Wright, the prosecution brings up a good point. Can we see some evidence?
Nick, they say they want evidence. I just explained how there can only be one possible murder method. There's still something unusual about Mo's eyewitness account. Unusual? A contradiction, actually. Okay then, use that and get out of this jam. What are we talking about?
That's enough talking amongst yourselves. Proceed, Mr. Wright. Present some evidence to the court that backs your claims.
Alright, let me save it again, because we're about to have to present something about... I'm not even sure what we're having to present here. Present something that Mo contradicted himself with? What?
I want hard proof that you have unraveled the trick to this magic case.
Hard proof. Ugh. Ugh. No. Okay, I don't know if I have this, guys. I want hard proof that you have unraveled the trick to this magic case. Hard proof, man. I don't know if I got this, man. I don't know if I got this. What proof do we have? I don't know what proof we have, to be honest. I got nothing. Fuck. Something about Mo's testimony was wrong, but I don't remember Mo's testimony well enough to fucking... Can we, like, review his old testimony and be like, yo, what did he say? God, I don't know, man. What did he say wrong? It was something about... Okay, hold on. What did Mo say that was wrong? We didn't have, like, any of this stuff when we testified Mo yesterday. Or did we? Actually, no. We had the autopsy, but... oh, no, we did. We got all the way up to the pepper shaker, so it could be any of that shit. But we didn't have these three, so it's not going to be any of those. The autopsy doesn't have shit to do with what Mo talked about, or the box, or the pepper. He just saw Max's silhouette. So that has nothing to do with the bust. Could it have to be with the three symbols thing? Or the hat? Because that's, if I remember correctly, that was the contradiction Mo... Or at least that's where I got Mo on the contradiction, was the hat or the poster. Or not the poster, but the three symbols. I'm going to go ahead and present the hat and see if that's what I need. God, I hope so. I just saved it, so let's see. The problem is Max's three symbols. Yes, I got it. Oh my god, dude. I completely forgot what Mo testified on, so... sigh of relief on remembering it, kind of. You know, the silk hat, the cloak, and the white roses?
Those symbols were a problem numerous times during yesterday's proceedings.
Yesterday, there were two contradictions in Mo's testimony. The silk hat was one, the white roses were the other. But the theory I just presented explains all of these contradictions. You fool! Do you ever shut up? Max's silk hat was found at the scene of the crime. However, remember what Mo said yesterday. He testified that the criminal he saw fleeing the scene was wearing a silk hat. There's only one explanation for that. The silk hat that Mo saw was actually the bust. Yeah? What's the point? That the hat must have fallen off of the guy? What are we trying to point out here?
Makes sense if you look at that way. Then he did see the silk hat, well, sort of.
Uh-huh. Fine, you've got one. But what about the other contradiction?
The other contradiction?
Remember what that ventriloquist said in court? He said that he witnessed white roses on Max's chest that night. But the clown's testimony doesn't match. The clown said that there were no white roses. I'd like to see you try and explain that one away. Can you do it, Nick? Of course. I can explain all of it. What was that? Please recall the instant when the cloak snagged onto the bust. The cloak snagged onto the bust. If the cloak snagged onto the bust, what happened to the white roses? hung... Oh, they're hanging the wrong way so you can't see them. I get it. Do you get it yet? If the cloak got snagged into the front of the bust, it means that the white roses would end up on the back of the bust. Booyah, bitch! Which explains why Mo didn't see it. The white roses were not visible because they were on the back side of the bust. This is like the most ridiculous fucking convoluted bullshit I've ever heard in my life, by the way. But, I mean, it makes sense, but man, whoever came up with this goddamn trial is a nitpicking little bitch. I'm just gonna say that now. Anyway. Order! Order! I'm waiting for Acro to fucking break out of his shell. You know he's got one.
This is quite the shocking state of affairs. Mr. Wright's theory still sounds a bit absurd to me.
It sounds absurd to everybody, sir.
However, let's just keep going down this road for the while and see where it leads.
Let's do this, Nick. Then maybe Von Karma will finally throw in the towel.
I don't think so. That smirk on her face and that douchebag smug boy, not gonna work so easily.
Well, so much for that theory.
Mr. Wright, do you mind?
What is it?
You took the time to research our circus, didn't you?
Well, yes, I did. Is there something making you think that I didn't?
If you did, then maybe you'll understand why I think you're off track.
Why is that?
Motive. This witness feels an incredible debt of gratitude towards the ringmaster. Anyone with any relation to the circus is well aware of this.
True. True.
Thus, there is absolutely no way someone like this would kill the ringmaster.
Can we establish that maybe he didn't mean to kill the ringmaster? Because, if you recall, he did give the note to Regina, thinking that maybe Regina would read it and be the one to actually go out and maybe try to do this situation. Regina was probably meant to be the one to die, and it just so happened that the ringmaster was the one to go. I mean, that just seems likely to me based on this whole scenario. But let's see.
Your Honor, I'd like you to hear Acro's story. Learn about his relationship with the ringmaster and his life up until now. What do we do? There's no doubting that Acro deeply respected the ringmaster.
Acro's motive. It was an accident, bro.
It seems that this case isn't over yet. Very well. However, I feel this is a good place to take a break. I will listen to the rest of the Mr. Dingling's testimony after the recess.
Good. I need a break for my voice, too.
This court will now take a 10-minute recess.
Good, I need one. My throat is dying. That Acro voice is killing me, and I am stupid for choosing it. I will not do that again. But I'll have to finish this case up first. Alright, in the next episode of this fucking case, I imagine, unless there's another day of investigation, but I don't think there will be because it looks like we've pretty much pinpointed what happened. Now it looks like we just have to pinpoint a motive, and I think I already got it. He definitely wanted to kill Regina, but he failed. He accidentally killed the ringmaster. That's what I'm going with, and if you fucking spoil it and say 100% I'm right, I'll punch you in the face. Somehow. I'll see you guys in the next episode. Peace!